Being perceived as a confident person can be incredibly beneficial to your career. Adversely, if you're perceived as someone who is timid or weak, that might have the undermining effect of your career and have people less inclined to listen to your ideas or follow you. In today's video, I'm going to give you 5 things that you shouldn't say at work because they make you sound timid or weak and undermine your credibility. Let's go. Now, the first phrase that I want to highlight is, "This might sound like a dumb idea, but." Now, why do people do this? People do that because it can be intimidating to put your ideas out there. If you're truly thinking of something that's innovative, people haven't done before, and you're putting it up in a public forum, it can be quite intimidating. So in order to protect yourself a little bit, you say something along the lines of, "This might sound like a dumb idea, but." But what is actually happening here? What you're doing is you're weakening your position and you're eroding the confidence others have in the idea. There's no need to do that. When you propose an idea, have conviction, have confidence, and put it forward. The next sentence or sentences that I want you to erase from your vocabulary that keep you sounding weak at work are, "I'm sorry to ask this," or "I'm sorry, I have one more question." There is no need to apologize for having a question or having an inquiry. You're much better off just asking. You're asking the question either way, but what you're doing when you say "I'm sorry" or apologizing prior to asking your question is just making yourself sound weak, making yourself sound timid. You deserve to be able to ask the question. There is nothing wrong with that, so remove that sentence from your vocabulary. The next sentence that I want to highlight is, "I could do that," or "I could go ahead with blank." Instead of saying could, what you want to say is will. Right? Because that's a much stronger ways to phrase it. Of course, you could do something, but are you going to do something? If you're sharing your actions or your plan with someone, instead of saying could, say will. Another phrase that I'd like to highlight is, "Does this make sense?" Does this make sense is funny because it does a few things. One, someone could take it the wrong way, like, "Well, of course it makes sense. That wasn't a complicated thing you shared with me. Of course I get it." The other way is you're asking them basically what their thoughts are, but asking it in a timid or weak way. When you share an idea with someone and you want to get their perspective, their thoughts, or their reaction, instead of saying, "Does this make sense?" say, "What are your thoughts?" And give them the opportunity to share it blue ocean. They can come in and share exactly how they feel. They can give you their perspective. And you're not putting it forth in a way like, "Did you understand what I said? Does this make sense?" Well, it seems like a small difference. It is a much better way to phrase this and engage in conversation. The next phrase I want to talk about is, "Maybe we should try this." Now, a better way to go about saying that very same thing is, "Let's try this." Or you could say, "It's a good idea to try this." What you're doing there is, instead of saying something like, "Maybe we should go ahead and try," you're being a bit more upfront, a bit more direct with your communication that this is the pathway you would like to take. By simply switching the words "maybe" to "let's," you're coming off as much more confident, much less weak and timid. And at the end of the day, that is the outcome we are trying to achieve by this video. Now, if you can take these 5 different phrases and modify them, you will perceive as someone who is much more confident, much more direct, and much less weak or timid. Now, this video is done, but I want you to watch this video. This video is 7 different things you should never say to your coworkers. When it comes to having your career, you take a lot of time investing in it, trying to forward it, trying to grow it, but saying one of these 7 things could undermine all the hard work you've put forth to advance your career. So this video is done, but go check out this one now.